uh, or any sort of non-standard play is mainly based around not allowing them to scout early on.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to try and prevent him from scouting any sort of early, builds that I might be doing. Just unallow any kind of scouting with that early probe as much as I can. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull these these drones off Vespian Gas. Just play like a typical standard opening. As long as he's able to scout me with this probe. But as soon as this probe, I feel is out of range, I obviously can't see that with his, or can't find the probe with my drone, so I'm expecting it to be in my main here somewhere. Maybe not. Go ahead. Yeah, start mining my Vespian Geyser again. Throw down a Roach Warren. Oh, there it is.
No.
And this can actually be good. Because he sees I'm saying this drone down and take this expansion that I have no intention of actually taking.
Now that's an important part of any, I guess, since we're being politically correct, non-standard play. It's selling them on something else.
Yep.
There's a sentry. What the hell? What the deuce? So this is almost like textbook 5 Roach Rush.
Yep.
Per Team Liquid strategy form.
Yep.
You do read the forums after all.
Nope. Huh. Well, he's being very passive. Looks like maybe a possibility of an expand.
QQ. Lanes are dead. Are you following this up with more
expansion
and drones? So you're going to expand behind it.
Yep. At this point, now that I see these two extremely early sentries, I'm pretty sure there's almost no way this rush is actually going to do any sort of damage, but obviously I still need to try to do something with it anyway. And maybe not. Scout the expansion.
OMG! Oh, ouch. That was not a good use at all. There's some better force fields.
Yeah. Well, I was at least able to delay the expansion. But now I obviously have to worry about this
Yep.
stalker pressure. Go ahead and start pumping out my speedlings. Very important that I keep my roaches below the ramp to kind of split up his force fields.
And I guess from this point forward, we just fall back on typical machine play, right?
Yep.
Drones, expand, upgrades.
You can't quite drone as much on this map, so I'm actually going to be much lower drone count than you're used to seeing me, and playing much more aggressively, depending upon when I scout this expansion. And I see it's about halfway complete. Go ahead and once again just pressure out. Just try and keep up the pressure, especially on this map.
You have quite a few speedlings out. I played about 6 or 7 games with Alish today, and did not win one. I was very sad.
Yeah, he's very good.
He works with Jeff as well. I think you can kind of see that in his play. I think their styles are very
Oh yeah, they're
when they
similar.
macro.
Yep.
Oof. There's Steps of War for you.
Yep. And good game.
Alright, well I almost feel bad for asking you to play Steps.
No, it's fine.
Alright, so I keep kind of coming back to this, and if you don't want to give away all your secrets, I would understand. But I would really love to hear you talk about that Hydra build one last time, and maybe see it in action. Is that something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Once again, the Hydros drop build is just something that I use to exploit the immobility of Hydros early on, and the false sense of security that Protosses have for going Forge Fast Expand on maps like Shakuras, Metalopolis, just anything where I can really kind of exploit the fast early Forge and then stack defense that the Protosses are relying on to defend both their main and natural early on.
Now, is this kind of build not going to work well against the 3-gate expand?
No, I wouldn't do it against 3-gate expand, because you have to cut Zergling speed, and in order to get the drop in time to really deal the damage that it needs to, and you can't cut Zergling speed like for a quick layer against 3-gate expand, just because they're still gonna have their stalkers out at the same time.
Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and host up on Shakuras.
Alright.
And I will get you in here. My girlfriend has the hiccups and she sounds like she's dying.
Yeah, I could hear her in the background.
And after this, hopefully we can jump in and play a couple games with a Terran.
Alright.
Maybe get a take on your way to, answer these same questions in terms of ZVT.
Okay.
So obviously, the game you played was the game that I keep referencing, this Hydra drop that I keep going back to. You guys had kind of close by air positions, if I can call it that. He was right beside you. Now, if he's not in that same spot this game, how much does that affect the strategy?
It affects it a little bit. Obviously, I don't want to move across the middle with the drop if I don't have to, and if I do, I want to make sure I have both Xel'Naga watchtowers secured. As far as just plain distance, yeah, it's a little bit farther, but the distance isn't so much of a deal as much as them just not or them being able to scout it much easier.
Right.
And so now I know he's cross map.
Yep.
And he is going Forge Gateway.
Kind of delaying his Nexus a little bit, getting that gateway that early.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, ouch.
Definitely worried about a cannon rush.
I would be too, if I were you. Hacks. Hacks he's saying right now. And we've just now started mining our gas.
Yep. Everything early on in this build is just about the same up until Zergling speed. I leave it that way so it's much harder to scout, obviously. And because he's going Forge Expand, I don't have to worry about, obviously, like stack defense early on. Just allows me to put more resources into early drones. The other change in the build, right now I'm going to be getting my lair as a. Before I would have been just securing Zergling speed. And it's going to allow me to drone even harder early on. The other sort of change that happens with this build is I take my Vespian Geysers at my natural much sooner because the Hydralisk drop is an extremely Vespian gas heavy build.
How much time did you spend polishing this one up?
Let's see. Not too long, actually. It only took me about 4 or 5 games to get it down. I basically I knew I had to play TT1 on this map, and I was actually struggling on this map versus Protoss, just because that whole back expand that every Protoss is doing. Oh, it's a little bit late on these Vespian Geysers. And so I kind of designed it specifically just for that one match, and I've been kind of using it ever since. So go ahead, start my Hydralisk drop research, start my Hydralisk den.
Is this a build that you'll pull out anytime you see Forge Fast Expand?
Yeah. Yeah, I use this a lot. If people go like 6-gate in base, it kind of counters it, I guess you could say. But against 90% of Forge Expand builds, it works great. It's definitely my go-to build as far as like defending against like Forge Fast Expand.
So you're getting these early Hydras, so I have to wonder how this is going to do well against Stargate just naturally?
Yep. Yeah, if they go Void Ray, they at most would have, I don't know, 3 Void Rays or so. And so it's not too big of a deal, especially because you're going to be dropping a good, I don't know, 8 Hydralisks at least inside their main.
Of course, if he goes Phoenix, he's with the new build time, he'll have, what, 30 Phoenixes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's actually funny. I haven't run up against the Phoenix build with this yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Well, as you'll see, I'm going to start getting pretty limited with my Vespian gas. I should have actually taken the ones at my natural a bit sooner, but I'm going to go ahead and wait for these last few units to spawn. At the same time, I'm going to be taking my 3rd base, and I'm going to load all these up and go ahead and attack into his main, or drop into his main rather.
The thing that most impressed me when I first saw this build was the fact that you just kept dropping. It wasn't one drop, it was one drop, and then another drop, and then another drop.
Oh. And it looks like he's expecting it. Scouted it anyway.